Hello Gemini, this is your love and relationship energy reading. Your love and relationship reading for the month of October 2018. It's not so much an energy reading. I'm going to be looking at a number of things going on, not just between you and the love interest. So I'm going to cut the cards here. Okay. Your first card is the Emperor. You have a 10 of Wands. You have the Chariot. And this is going to be very important. You have a 5 of Swords. An Ace of Swords. And then remember, you are an air sign. This is a Page of Wands. You have the Hangman in reverse. This is the Moon. And then you have a Queen of Cups. Okay, so Gemini, a few things. You've got 4 major arcana, and for some reason, for October readings, everyone is getting these big major arcana cards, like 4 or 5, showing up. And I guess as we turn to a new season, as the Earth starts to make its cycle around the solar system, maybe all of us are going to be going through some big shifts. So I wanted to point out, you have this Emperor and then you have the Chariot. Now the Chariot's associated with Cancer, but Gemini, remember Gemini is about the twins, this duality. And so I couldn't help but notice this, that you have your black horse, which is associated with the subconscious, and then the white horse, which is associated with consciousness, light, being able to see. And so this is also just not about a couple getting along together. It's also about unity between, not just, it's about unity between the conscious and subconscious. Meaning, if there are blocks and obstacles in the way, then you'll obviously not have real unity, not even within yourself and not within your partnership. And so sometimes when this card shows up, yes, it is about overcoming obstacles, but it's about having willpower and focus and being on the same page. So I wanted to point out that duality. I think it speaks a little bit towards you, especially with the presence of these swords. You only have 2 of them, but remember, you've got some major arcana squeezing out the smaller cards. This is going to be a big month of transitions between you and your partner. And you've got a lot of interesting things going on in the future. So the Emperor is all about organization, and in a way, the Emperor and the Chariot share the same goals. A relationship that's functioning, and a relationship that's drama-free, that can get past arguments. Okay, so the Emperor is the ruler, keeps everything under control, very practical, can see the bigger picture. The Chariot is about understanding that bigger picture, having discipline and focus, not getting into the drama, not getting into being a victim or your feelings, just pushing forward ahead. And right in between the two, you have that 10 of Wands, which is about the actual pushing through, having the mental strength and desire to just push on ahead, knowing that this obstacle or this situation, it's going to pass. Okay, so one of the stronger messages I'm getting from your past is that in your relationships right now, Gemini, with your love interests, there is this energy of focus and determination, and I'm getting a lot of energy around the relationship situation, pushing forward, very optimistic. But then here in the present, we get something interesting happening here. And note, there are no major arcana cards here. This seems to be a little blip, but it's going to be a little blip that's going to have a stronger signal here in your future. So we have a little bit of disagreements, things not going as planned. Five of Swords is the card of defeat. It's about a bruised ego. And so there's a little bit of friction between you and your love interest or your partner. The Ace of Swords is in the middle. There's clarity needed. Usually the card in the middle is not only telling me the root situation, but it can also be a little piece of advice or something that's giving me a heads up about what's getting in the way of this issue being resolved. And so Ace of Swords, it's about understanding truth and clarity, and making the right judgment. And so between this Five of Swords and this Ace of Swords here together, your air energy, there seems to be some issues with communication. There might even be a little spat, a little make-up, break-up argument going on between the two of you. But you both need to be able to work it out, to be able to talk to each other, have consistent communication issues. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a disagreement or conflict that might happen in different ways for some of you Geminis. But remember to keep your cool. This Page of Wands, it has a lot to do with new adventures. Sometimes it can be good news, but it's also that beginner card where you are hopeful, you're excited like a child. It also means freedom and happiness and joy. And so expecting good news, okay? And it's a good energy to have because we're coming from that Ten of Wands where the relationship is just too much and you can't take it. And then the Page of Wands where hopefully we've resolved a few things. It can also be your partner like, well, I think I've been under a lot of stress, I've been under a lot of issues, and let's just go and have a good time. I'm getting a sense of breaking away. I'll see you later. I'll talk to you soon. Some text message coming through that says something like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'll be talking to you soon. Maybe we'll go out next weekend. Things like that. So then we get here to the future, and then we get these two major arcana cards. And these two together, because the Hangman is about being in a situation you can't control, that's very difficult to handle. And then the Moon is about a heads up, making sure that you don't get blindsided, paying attention to the danger signals, okay? Not rushing into things, thinking things through, listening to your subconscious. And so these two cards together, lots of hesitation here. Perhaps this person, this love interest, says, oh yeah, we'll get together, it's okay, we had an argument, it's no big deal, we're cool. And then, a couple days later you don't hear from the person, you're kind of worried, like, are we cool? How does this person feel? And it might feel as if someone is breaking away or not really telling you everything. So that's why I'm getting a lot of this anxiety with the Hangman and the Moon. Perfectly understandable. But keep in mind, you've got this energy of the Queen of Cups. I feel like there's a little bit of an emotional breakthrough here, an emotional understanding, some reassurance coming. And perhaps you'll feel a little bit more reassured in the future when the Queen of Cups comes along, where emotionally you might actually feel a little bit reassured. Now the Queen of Cups is facing the Maiden who's in the Moon, and the Man in the Hangman who's upside down. So, you know, there's a lot to be said here about your feelings and keeping your feelings under control, not allowing yourself to get too insecure or being needy. But I do feel that there's some reassurance, like we're cool. You know, even though you two had an argument, I feel like with all the doubts and the fears coming up with the Hangman and the Moon, the Queen of Cups is just going to have, you know, like a text show up, like, hi, how you doing, that type of thing. That's one way it might play out. So the outcome card, you have a Six of Pentacles, and this has been showing up a lot. This is the generosity card. I see someone, unexpected surprise, and as we head towards November and the holiday season, I see a little bit of generosity for some of you Geminis, receiving an unexpected gift from your partner, or some unexpected interest from a love interest. But I feel like this is good news. I feel like some of you who might have been frustrated with a partner might get a little bit more attention, and you might start getting taken care of. I see like going out for dinner, happy times, things like that. I see just being able to sit and talk, you know, just resolution, making it up to each other, that type of thing. So Gemini, that was your reading, and thank you to all of my supporters and my regular customers. I heard it from quite a few of you this past month, and it was good to hear from you. Okay, I hope you're doing well. Happy birthday to all the Libras, and of course I'll see you next month. Thank you so much. Look in the video description if you want to find my Facebook page or my Twitter page or my Patreon page. If you're watching this video on your cell phone, make sure you click the little arrow to your right and it'll give you more information. So feel free to stop by and add me. Take care. I'll see you next month, and I wish you love and light.